That's America's burrowing owl, and that's me. I set out to document the process of birds building their families, but little did I know I would see so many crazy things along the way. This is the story of how I got to watch owls build their family and the unexpected turn that came in the end. On the way over to our first owl location, I stopped for a great egret chomping down on a massive rodent.
There it is. Wow.
We arrived at a great horned owl nest I've been watching this year. So far, I have yet to capture anything good of these young ones, as I've been stuck up high in the nest all year with no good angles. Hopefully, that will change as time goes on and as they come down from their nest. Not to worry though, as the real reason why I was here today was for a much tinier owl. So I've been coming here for a few weeks now and tracking a pair of burrowing owls that I've been noticing kind of creating their own burrow, and I'm hoping that when the season comes that I'll be able to get some burrowing owl babies coming out of the burrow as well. The burrowing owl. An amazing little creature that lives across the fields of America. Rare amongst birds, they nest in burrows that are dug underground. They are tiny but ferocious predators and can easily combat animals twice their size. And while I was enjoying my time photographing this one off in the distance, something caught my attention out of the corner of my eye. Oh my goodness. We literally have a burrowing owl 15 feet to our right. And I did not even notice it this whole time. I couldn't believe just how close this burrowing owl was to me. While I focused on the one in the distance, for the past 30 minutes, I had been sitting there with one right beside me the whole time, just relaxing, watching the day go by until it was time for it to hunt. In my past encounters with these owls, never had I been so close as to see the literal pupils in its eyes as they scanned the horizon. Something about seeing these powerful predators down close on the ground and in person is special and unique from so many other bird experiences, and one that I had been wanting for a while. As the day went on, I got to see the light evolve, swallows sweep through the field, and harriers hunt out in the sunset. Seeing as I was so close to the owl, I switched out to my Sigma 135 1.8 and worked on capturing not only tight close-ups, but also wider angles that captured the beautiful light and environment around the bird. The light was magical how it softly fell through the grass from the low-set horizon. Using foreground grass to isolate the subject and moving my body left to right, I found windows of clarity that isolated the bird against the deep greens and yellows, telling a story of its size in the grass. I was amazed at the boldness of this bird and was making the most of this encounter. As the day came to a close and the sun started to tint the sky, the light lined up perfectly to create an amazing color palette through my viewfinder. I had positioned myself well, and as the sun peaked around its final cloud, I was able to capture my best images of burrowing owls yet. As the twilight came, the burrowing owl finally took up to begin his hunt. Burrowing owl just flushed. Other side. We're in these last hours of light where we can't really do much more, so we'll see. It's hunting now. So we're gonna see if we can get some stuff of it on some perches that it's hunting from. While watching him hunt, I got to see him hovering against the wind looking for some prey from above, which I had never seen before. While I wanted to watch this hunt forever, the darkness soon got the best of me and brought my night to a close. What an incredible encounter with burrowing owl I was blessed to have, and I was excited to follow up with them again in a few weeks to see if their family had grown. It was time for a little change of pace. As it's spring, life is blossoming everywhere, one place of which is my local Egret Roost. Each year, I like to visit this place to get some casual photographs of the egrets in their nest with the young ones. I was taking out the new Panasonic S1R2 to play with it some on location and try it out in lieu of a switch. But if you follow the channel, you know what happens in the end, so I won't rehash all the details. Over the course of several months and multiple visits, I filmed cattle egret, snowy egret, gray egret, and black-crowned heron families build their nests and raise their young ones. I even got to watch some mating displays. And along the way, I got to get some awesome photographs in nature's house of birds. Parents would hunt for food, feed the little ones, and all was well in the colony, except space. In an ideal nesting grounds like this, space is king. If you don't have it, you want it. And if you have it, you don't want to give it up. Cattle egrets, being the smallest and most abundant of the birds here, often get pushed towards the leftover spots and crammed into any space possible. As mating season comes around, egrets fight for their territory, sometimes to the death, and crazy things happen, including this fight here. Young ones need to make sure to stay out of the way. Nature is brutal, and sadly, this fight wasn't the only injury on the field. It makes me feel sad for the birds, and reminds me that when possible, save space for them in our ever-growing world. Throughout the course of my time with the egrets, I had the opportunity to capture some beautiful photographs of them across a variety of camera brands, including the Panasonic S1R2, Nikon Z8, Sony A1 II, and more, and I was super happy with my results. But with all this camera testing, I wound up pushing my ISO limits and getting too much noise in a decent amount of my images. Luckily, I had a solution. I wanted to take a moment to tell you guys about my absolute favorite new software for denoising, DxO, who is a sponsor of today's video and has two absolutely phenomenal programs that excel and specialize specifically in denoising on the pixel level, which creates some absolutely fantastic results. Let me show you real quick. So I've got one of my favorite burrowing owl images pulled up from that incredible sunset earlier in the video, and take a look at how it denoises on the micro level as I slide this slider back and forth. At the same time, it doesn't fail to keep all of the sharpness and details of the feather in the bird and other scenic elements, nor does it fail to preserve color accuracy. Pulling this up side by side, you can see the file edited without DxO's denoising, then the file with the DxO applied, and the results are crazy different. You can see it even better if I was to decide to crop in dramatically. The one without DxO's denoising isn't even usable for my quality standards, but with DxO's Deep Prime XD technology, it now is. I've genuinely been super excited about adding DxO to my regular workflow, and I want you guys to have the opportunity of experiencing it too. Sometimes with YouTube's compression, it can be hard to see the fine details of these results on screen. So what I'm gonna do is link a few files for download in the description below so that you can download them yourself and see the results of DxO side by side as you blow them up on your computer and pixel peep all the way into them. And I am 100% confident that you will be amazed by these results. DxO offers two programs. PureRaw 5, which is a denoising plugin workflow for Lightroom, like what I use, or Photolab 9, which is a standalone editing software and replacement for Lightroom. And the best part about it is that unlike most software, DxO works on a perpetual license model, meaning you don't have to keep paying silly subscription fees as time goes on. If you download either of the two programs using my link in the description below, you'll receive 15% off your purchase using promo code NIPE15. Back at our owl location, something exciting had happened.
Ooh. There we are. Sure enough, those owlets are out, and oh my goodness, it's 3 of them. And the parent.
Finally seeing these owls out of the nest was such a treat. After 2 months from when I first saw them to now, I've been waiting for this moment for months, after seeing just the tops of their heads day after day. But unfortunately, they were high up and no real good angles could be achieved of them. In these moments, I did realize something though, that there was a 4th young one I had never noticed before. Using foreground leaves, I tried to make something of it, isolating the great horned owlets, but nothing crazy came of it. I enjoyed getting to spend my time with these owlets, but little did I know that later on in the day, I would get an amazing encounter with the great horned owlet in perfect light. Sunset was approaching, and that meant it was time to go check out our burrowing owl friends to see if their owlets had popped out of the burrow yet. But sadly, as I searched the area for them, I discovered an empty home.
Okay, so yeah, this is it. It looks like this was our burrowing owl burrow. I was carefully walking around to try to spot the burrowing owls beforehand and was making sure I didn't disturb them or see them, but it looks like this burrow is abandoned now. You can see all the guano markings here on the side. The burrow itself, come around to this angle, down in there. But yeah, that's interesting. That means that either, because I did see 2 of them originally, that means that either they never wound up mating together or it was an unsuccessful season. I would think since the male had stuck around the burrow so much, they did mate, but bummer. We'll look around, see if we can find them around flying, but I highly doubt it as I've found the other guy around his burrow.
I was so sad to see that my hard work this year following a burrowing owl family had stopped in its tracks, and to see that no burrowing owls would be coming out of the burrow this year. Unsure of what had happened, I left the burrowing owl plains for the evening. But my hopes weren't completely crushed yet, as I had seen a great horned owl family earlier today, and was on my way back to see if I could get a better look at a young one when this happened.
Those juvies are moving around. They are definitely flying. That's exciting. One just flushed out from here, went all the way over to that tree, so they're flying pretty decently. Another one right there. Oh man, we could be in for a show tonight. Any more down? Ooh, we got one down on the ground over here. awesome. Oh, that is so cool.
I couldn't believe my eyes. There it was, right in front of me. A great horned owlet was sitting on the ground down by the pond, presumably just having gotten some water. Its big, beady eyes staring right back at me. And not only this, but it was set amidst a gorgeous scenery of wood thicket and brush, with some sunset lighting up the environment from the side. This would prove to be my best encounter with great horned owls yet. And as I slowly approached taking shot after shot, I used both tight and wide angles to get the intensity of the bird up close and the beauty of the scene. After months of waiting for them to come out of the nest, this was finally my chance. Seeing young ones take their first flights, encouraged by mom, all the owlets were scattered around, with mom hooting back and forth to the little ones, encouraging them to fly around. Never could I have planned for the young owl to be at this exact spot on the ground at this time. And just as the sun was about to dip on a day where I thought I would be getting burrowing owl photos, I turned to take some of the best shots of great horned owls in my life. From babies to juvies, these owls are now starting their adventure into the big, wide world. They'll learn to fly, to hunt, and to raise young ones of their own someday. And such is the circle of life. Listening to their sounds is a marvelous rumbling in one's soul. And as the sunset came, I pondered how great it was to witness so many young birds come into the world this spring. From little owls to egrets, the world is a fascinating place to explore. I hope these owlets will go on to bless someone new with the same experience one day, so they too can be inspired by creation. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, I'd be honored if you subscribed. And if you want to watch my journey to photograph America's rarest bird this year, check out the video in the end screen here.